As someone who's done both calisthenics and weightlifting, I can confidently say that the two definitely have their advantages and disadvantages. They both can get you into amazing shape, but not without their challenges. Let's go over the pros and cons for each. Let's first go over the pros for calisthenics. It goes without saying that calisthenics can get you absolutely shredded. It has the potential to be the hardest form of training you'll ever do, and it comes with a lot of fun challenges as well. Many of these things include skill training for moves like the human flag, muscle up or back lever. In addition, it comes with the ultimate package of party tricks, including the handstand push-up or push-up freestyles, which I personally would do when someone called me out at a family get-together. Calisthenics can both be done at the comfort of your own home with minimal equipment, or even at the park. This type of training offers plenty of opportunity for beginners, since the fundamental exercises like knee push-ups and bodyweight squats are very easy. It's also necessary to mention there are heaps of inspiring and motivating calisthenics guys that can point you in the right direction. Some of these guys include Orson Dunham, Fitness Facts, and the OGs, Bar Brothers. The community of calisthenic athletes are also very welcoming, especially if you train at your local park. From my own experience, it's very easy to make friends and build connections in real life, and if you're a strong calisthenics athlete, you'd most likely garner a lot of attention if you're training at a popular park, if you're into that type of thing. But it does happen quite naturally as you go through your normal training. Calisthenics has definitely gotten a lot more attention over the years, which is great to see. Obviously, I'm a little biased because calisthenics is like home to me, but it's reasonable to conclude that calisthenics can be a very enjoyable experience. Now for the pros of weight training. As you guys know, from 2022 up until now, I joined the gym and essentially revamped my entire program to weightlifting. Just like calisthenics, weightlifting can get you super strong and shredded. Weightlifting is representative of the most notorious bodybuilders, including Ronnie Coleman and Arnold. Weightlifting can mold the ultimate and most rounded physique with just the fundamental exercises, including the bench press, whether that's with a barbell or on a machine, squat and lat pull down. For those that have home gyms, you can offer some of the most insane garage workouts ever. This type of training easily has the best carryover effect to real life day-to-day activities. Farmers carries will ultimately improve your ability to transport your groceries in one trip. Hip thrusts carry the opportunity for you to attract a mating partner. The list goes on. This type of training also finds home to some absolute beasts if you train at a gym, obviously not Planet Fitness, and it goes without saying that it naturally would also contain a great selection of women. But let's be serious, no one cares about that, we care about the men, right? The selection of gym influencers are also very motivating. Some of these include the late John Meadows, one of my favorites, and also Greg Plitt, who was also a very early inspiration for me. But yeah, training at the gym for 1 year now, it's been quite fun. The cons of calisthenics. Yes, calisthenics can get you absolutely peeled, but there are huge disadvantages. As someone who's been doing calisthenics for almost 10 years, it's very difficult to isolate the upper pec region. There are exercises that can sort of target this area, but to say the least, they're not optimal. So in this respect, I would hybrid both types of training to complement each other. It's also quite difficult to develop 3D boulder shoulders like Derek from More Plates, More Dates. And the big one, legs, is a huge drag because we have to rely on a surplus of volume to compensate for using light weight. Additionally, if you are the type of guy to only do calisthenics at the gym, for those that don't do calisthenics, they look at you like you're a CrossFitter. Yep. It's bad, especially if you're doing L-sit muscle-ups or freestyle moves in the middle of the gym. Impressive, of course, but to those uninformed, they think you're a clown in need of attention. So in my experience, if I wanted to do calisthenics only, I'd go to the park and do it there to save face if I was doing crazy skill training. Another huge disadvantage would be training outside in the heat in summer and training outside in the rain in winter. For those without extreme mental toughness and discipline, many would just say no to working out on a day like this entirely. Now onto the cons for weightlifting. To those that have a home gym, this doesn't apply to you, but for everyone else that trains at the gym, it's awful to work out when you're forced to train at peak hour, which ultimately means you have to either wait for a machine to be vacant or change your routine entirely, which can be very annoying sometimes. So anyone that doesn't train when it's busy, then all good. We also have the gym membership fees, which we have to pay for, but if you have some form of income, this obviously isn't a problem. In the training itself, this can open doors for lots of risk for injury, but the same can be said with calisthenics if you're showing off all the time. Ego lifting seems to be a bit more apparent in this type of training, but there are also people who do calisthenics and do weighted pull-ups but cheat their reps, like Mike Chang. This form of training also holds ground to some of the biggest fake natties I've ever seen, like Mike O'Hearn. Weightlifting can also be difficult or intimidating for beginners. Stepping into the gym can be an uncomfortable step to take, especially with all the huge guys in the gym, which adds on to the insecurity. And on rare occasions, you could fall victim to being in someone's gym fail compilation. With all the pros and cons in both of these types of training, I've grown to develop a love for both. Each con can effectively be prevented or improved on. For example, calisthenic athletes who struggle with developing their legs can easily take on a hybrid program of both these forms of training, which I do, and beginners who decide to do weightlifting can easily apply for personal training or guidance from literally anyone. It goes without saying that it really doesn't matter which you do, as long as you're getting after it physically, that's all that matters.